Coming up on the March edition of Channel 12's Lakeside News, the SLMPD's Dave Hohertz will give us some cold facts on the dangers of thin ice. And this month's Meet the Mayor will head to Loretto to interview Mayor Koch and take a look back at his first year on the job. We'll find out what's in bloom at the Westonka Horticultural Society. And in this month's Lake Lore, we'll highlight a local institution, the Old Log Theater. Lakeside News is next. Hi, I'm Chris Vogt, and welcome to Lakeside News, where you'll find news and events from around the lake area. When is ice safe? There's no sure answer. And this winter has been especially dangerous because of the mild temperatures. Here's the SLMPD's Dave Hohertz with some cold facts on the dangers of thin ice.
Hi, my name is Dave Hohertz. I'm the Community Service Supervisor with the South Lake Minnetonka Police Department. It's been a bit of an unusual winter around Lake Minnetonka this year, and I'm here today to give you some tips to help keep you safe on the ice. Contrary to popular belief, ice is never 100% safe. You can't simply judge ice by its appearance, thickness, or whether it's covered by snow or not. Ice strength is based on all these factors, plus the water's depth, currents, and the size of the body of water. If you do decide to go out on the ice, think in terms of the thermometer rather than the calendar. Just because it was okay to go out on the ice this time last year doesn't mean that it's just as safe this year. New ice is usually stronger than old ice. 4 inches of clear, newly formed ice may support one person on foot, while a foot or more of old, partially thawed ice may not. Ice seldom freezes uniformly, so it could be a foot thick in one area and only a couple inches thick a few feet away. Use this rough guideline for new, clear ice when deciding to venture out onto frozen water. If it's 2 inches or less, stay off. 4 inches is enough for ice fishing. 5 inches is thick enough for a snowmobile or ATV. Make sure there are 8 to 12 inches for a car or small pickup, and at least 12 to 15 inches for a medium-sized truck. Booming and cracking ice isn't necessarily dangerous. It simply means that the ice is expanding and contracting as the temperature changes. You need to have a plan of what to do if you break through. Carrying rope, ice picks, and a flotation device can help save your life or someone else's. Wearing a vest-style life jacket can provide you with extra warmth and flotation if you go through the ice. However, if you're in the water, don't remove your winter clothing. Heavy clothes won't drag you down, but instead can trap air that will provide warmth and flotation. This is especially true with a snowmobile suit. Turn towards the direction you came. That's most likely the strongest ice. Place your hands and arms on the unbroken ice surface. This is where a pair of sharpened screwdrivers or ice picks come in useful, by providing the extra traction you'll need to pull yourself up onto the ice. Kick your feet and dig in your ice picks to work your way back onto the solid ice. If your winter clothing has trapped a lot of water, you may have to lift yourself partially out to let the water drain before continuing forward onto the ice. Lie flat on the ice and roll away from the hole to keep your weight spread out. This will help prevent you from breaking through again. Get to a warm, dry, sheltered area and rewarm yourself immediately. Even the most moderate cases of cold water shock should require medical attention. If someone else falls through and you're the only one around, call 911 for help first. Resist the urge to run up to the edge of the hole, as this could result in 2 people through the ice. Using our rough guideline for new clear ice, we can see how thick the ice needs to be in order to drive on it. There needs to be 8 to 12 inches for a car or small pickup and 12 to 15 inches for a medium-sized truck. The general rule is to not drive on the ice if it can be avoided. However, if you must, follow these tips. Be prepared to bail out in a hurry. If you are driving on ice, it's advised to have your seatbelt unbuckled and a window rolled down for easy escape. Going through a window while the car is still afloat is your best chance for escape. Also, don't wear a life vest while riding inside the vehicles. This could hamper your escape through the window. Do not return to a partially submerged vehicle to retrieve anything. Don't drive on the ice at night, especially during a snowfall. If that's unavoidable, drive slowly as holes can open up very quickly. If you're driving too fast, you may not be able to stop in time. Remember to always keep this rough guideline in mind when deciding to go out on the ice. So basically, common sense is your best ally in keeping you safe on the ice. Taking an extra 5 minutes to make sure that the ice is safe can really mean the difference between an enjoyable winter experience and a tragedy. I'm Dave Hohertz, keeping you safe on the ice.
Previously on America's favorite daytime drama, Lake Minnetonka. Brick has a secret.
Bunny,
Yes, Brick?
I have a secret.
What is it?
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message.
The Lake Minnetonka Communications Commission, located in Spring Park, Minnesota, offers free television production classes. You heard it right. Free, free, free. All you need to do is sign up and show up to receive your special TV training. That's right, folks. That's it.
Wow, that sure looks easy.
Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help bring your idea to the big screen. Well, that is if you have a big screen.
Why, thank you. We are very friendly and knowledgeable.
You'll learn the secrets of how a television studio works.
If you can't see video, try taking off the lens cap.
Wow! Thanks, LMCC.
From studio lighting and nonlinear editing to on-location shooting, we'll guide you down the path you need to succeed. Just call us at 952-471-7125 or go to our website at www.lmcc-tv.org to get started today. Hurry in, folks. An opportunity this good won't last forever.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
So, you're not mad?
Of course not, you big lug.
I just wish that you would have told me about LMCC's production classes. Maybe next time we can take classes.
Together?
Welcome back to Lakeside News. We're at Loretto City Hall and we're joined by Kent Koch, the mayor of Loretto. Kent, thank you so much for joining us here on Lakeside News.
Thanks for having me.
Now, the first question has to be, a year ago we came out and did a feature on you, as well as several national media outlets all over the country. First question has to be, looking back on that time after you were newly elected, I know you had said that it was a little overwhelming. Looking back on it now, fond memories, or do you feel like it had some issues in regards to the job at hand here at Loretto in terms of creating some challenges for you?
I would say very fond memories. I think the old cliche, you know, time flies when you're having fun. I can't even believe that I already made it through a year and working on the second year and going forward, and definitely had a lot of good experiences throughout. And I think the best part about the position, just meeting all different kinds of people, and even mayors and city council members and just even townspeople, and that's kind of been the best experiences, just all the new people that I've gotten to meet along the way.
I'm sure coming in last year, you probably had to have a few concerns of, are they going to think I'm a little bit too young for this job? Not to say that that turned out to be the case, but talk about people with different backgrounds coming together and dealing with situations like that in terms of how you would work together. Talk about that process over the last year.
Okay, yeah, definitely coming into it, I knew, you know, coming in, the young kid, had everyone on the council had 20 years on me at least, and so I knew coming in I was going to have to gain their respect right away, and basically started out just writing out a letter beforehand and saying, all right, here's the deal, here's how it's going to run. I'm the chairman of the board. Here's what I want to see. Come prepared for meetings. You know, be able to communicate effectively. You know, also taking into account the open meeting law. You know, just kind of giving them a heads up on that, and you know, just trying to be as prepared as I could. And throughout the first couple of months, I felt like everything ran really smooth. And the nice part about Loretto, you don't usually have that many huge issues come up. It's usually fairly quiet. But when they have come up, we've been able to take care of them, and just pretty much kind of, being able to do our job and say that, we're bettering the city. And actually, a couple of the council members did come up to me after, a few months later, and they pretty much admitted that, we didn't think you had a chance. We didn't have much respect for you coming into it. So that was kind of nice to hear them at least, give the gratitude that,
right.
Just.
Yeah, well, it was nice to hear it then, right? You wouldn't want to hear the stuff at the beginning, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
So,
Right.
so yeah, that was a little, a little bit of a relief, and it just, just been continuing on from there. And I like to attend the Northwest League of Minnesota Municipalities, and that's a really good local organization that it's town members from, could be city council, could be mayors, and basically just get together once a month and talk about your city and talk about issues, because the nice thing about being able to communicate with local communities is that sometimes they're dealing with the same issues we are, and they might have dealt with them in the past, and you can get good advice from a lot of those people along the way.
Sure. What would you say was the thing you learned most, especially in terms of what surprised you? My guess is, you were a resident, you grew up here, you knew the area, right? But what was it, looking back on it now, that most surprised you, either in terms of how it worked, being mayor of a city, or working with other people, or something maybe you didn't know about the city itself?
I would say, as far as what I maybe didn't know coming into it, or wasn't, as brushed up on the background, I would say definitely the sewer and water system, and the stormwater, regulations and all that. And we basically have had, at every council meeting, something or another comes up with those issues, and it's definitely been a learning experience through that as well. But again, too, I've grown up and lived in the town my whole life, like you said, 24 years now, and there's still things that come up that it's like, oh, I guess I didn't really know that's how it was, or that's how it worked back then. So that's definitely, the fun and ongoing learning that's really came through with this position.
Now, when you were elected, you were still a student as well as the mayor of the city. Just looking back on that, were there some challenges in that, or was it something where to have that other outlet was a good thing? Tell me a little bit about that process and how you balanced that.
Yeah, definitely. That whole situation was pretty unique, because I actually only had 3 credits to finish up at St. Cloud State for my finance degree. So honestly, I would say the schooling was the easiest part of it. Sure. I think the most challenging was definitely the baseball schedule. We were traveling to, we went down to Missouri, Illinois, we were all over the country. So it just came down early on, where I had to communicate with Clark Lohr, our acting mayor, and just let him know, okay, I'm gonna be out of town these dates, and if something comes up, you gotta take over. And the nice part was I only missed one meeting throughout that whole situation, and now able to talk about it and look back on it, and really was a really fun experience.
Obviously, this was a 2-year term, so you'll be up at the end of this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
I guess the question has to be is, have you decided? Are you going to run again for re-election?
I think if I had to decide today, as long as my parents don't kick me out of the basement, I will be up for re-election. But again, only time will tell. It depends when, in August or whenever the filing period comes up, and see. But obviously, just based on experiences and all that, it's definitely a fun position, and look forward to continuing to serve the community of Loretto.
Okay, and then the second part is that if you do indeed run for re-election, a question could be, what do you see as the future of Loretto in terms of where the city's going to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Forward thinking, how do you view the city of Loretto and what it has to look forward to?
Yeah, forward thinking, the thing about it is, Loretto is kind of an older city, and we do have some infrastructure that needs to continually be maintained. And it's all based on financial implications, and there's some things coming down the pipeline that we're going to have to look into and spend some time on. And one of the exciting things too is we have a redevelopment committee that's working on some redevelopment off of County Road 19. And so it would be nice, it's probably, maybe still probably 5 years out, but it would be nice to kind of see that whole process come through and, just continue to enhance Loretto.
Okay, they know you're a baseball star as well. Is there something else that our viewers or citizens of Loretto might not know about you that would be kind of interesting for them to find out?
Probably now that I graduated, I'm a financial analyst at United Healthcare in Minnetonka, and I work in the Medicare and Retirement Division. And so that is my full-time job, and the mayor's my part-time job. But it's been a challenge to kind of battle both, but it's been really good throughout.
Well, good. And I think it's safe to say then that chances are you won't be living in your parents' basement for much longer, right?
Right.
Okay, great. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us here today, Kent.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll be back to Lakeside News in just a moment.
Coming up after the break, we'll find out what's in bloom at the Westonka Horticultural Society. Lakeside News returns in a moment.
I'm Jen Olson, State Senator from Senate District 33, which serves all of the Lake Minnetonka communities within Hennepin County. I always appreciate the opportunity to come and be a part of Capital Update, and also I welcome hearing from many constituents who say they have watched the program. So thank you for the wonderful service that you give to our whole area at Lake Minnetonka Cable Communications.
The Westonka Horticulture Society is a nonprofit organization, volunteer-driven and funded, on a mission to educate in sustainable, responsible gardening and landscaping for the home gardener. The Society, through education and community outreach, encourages those who have an interest in horticulture to cultivate their gardening knowledge and become stewards of the earth. Whether just starting a garden or looking for new ideas and up-to-date information, the Westonka Horticulture Society can help. A great place to start to find all the information you need about gardening from the ground up is to attend the 7th annual Westonka Horticulture Day. Expect to learn what you need to start a garden, enhance or renovate a garden through a wide variety of topics, including how to create an eye-catching flower bed, fruits and berries, herb gardening, shade gardening, starting a garden from scratch, living wreaths, tomatoes and other vegetable gardening techniques, and much, much more. The keynote this year is by Neil Anderson, Associate Professor, Horticulture Science at UMN. There are over 12 other presenters providing something for everyone, including but not limited to Beyond Tomatoes by Dale Longfellow, Harvest and Create Nature's Bounty, Joe Meyer, How to Have Veggies from May to November, Lauren Butterfield, How to Kill Your Houseplants, Bill Cook, and Requirements for a Successful Garden, Lauren Butterfield. Friends bring friends to Horticulture Day to learn together and share together. Don't miss this opportunity to cultivate your knowledge in gardening and landscaping. There's something for everyone, from the novice to the professional and everyone in between. For more information, registration forms, and directions, go to www.westonka.org. Or you can visit Auden Brothers Nursery in Long Lake and register there. Again, join us Saturday, March 31st at Mount Westonka High School for the 7th Annual Westonka Horticulture Society's Horticulture Day.
This month on Seniors on the Go, we'll hear what Center Director Mindy Anderson has planned activities-wise for the month of March. Got an event or activity coming up but no place to host it? We'll look at how reasonable it can be to rent the Gillespie Center. With the tax deadline coming up in April, you can get your taxes done for free at the Gillespie Center. And of course, we'll have another fabulous Cooking with Barb segment. Seniors on the Go airs weekdays on LMCC's Channel 12.
Welcome back to Lakeside News. In this month's Lake Lore segment, we'll highlight a local institution, the Old Log Theater.
Welcome to Greenwood, Minnesota, home of the Old Log Theater, featuring the finest in Broadway comedies, contemporary plays, and British farces. On May 31st, 1940, the first season began, with ticket sales as little as 50 cents each. In 1941, a theater major from Northwestern University, Don Stoltz, was invited to direct at the Old Log. Over 2 thriving decades with shows regularly selling out, Stoltz knew it was time to expand. The new Old Log Theater, designed to look like a barn, featured a large lobby with a fireplace and high ceilings. Attached was a 350-seat dining room, and the auditorium itself featured vaulted ceilings and log walls, encapsulating the stage and 625 seats. The Old Log's alumni include Nick Nolte, who joined in the late 1960s, St. Paul native Lonnie Anderson, and former Twin Cities news anchor and actor Dave Moore. The original theater soon became storage for stage equipment and scenery. The Old Log Theater has produced more than 600 plays in its history. It now remains as one of the oldest running professional theaters in the nation.
Well, there you have it, news and events happening in and around the lake area. If you have a news story or see something exciting going on, please let us know. We can be reached here at the LMCC at 952-471-7125, via email at lmcc@lmcc-tv.org, or please check us out on our website at www.lmcc-tv.org. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next month on Channel 12's Lakeside News.